This is part 1 of activity 1.3.4, CAD modeling skills. In this activity, you will learn additional features on Fusion 360. Let's begin by scrolling down and looking at the thing that we have to draw. So we have to draw a rectangle with a 4x6 measurement, and then we will draw 3 polygons inside that rectangle. So open up Fusion 360 online, create a new sketch, and click on the front plane. Let's draw a center rectangle. Starting from the origin, click and drag out. Dimension the rectangle, 4 for its height, and 6 inches for its length. Then let's draw a line through the midpoint. So look for the midpoint and then down. Right click, press OK. Click on that line, and to your right where you see the sketch palette, click construction to turn that line into a construction line. Now let's select polygon and let's click on circumscribe polygon. Let's draw from this horizontal construction line, and then hit tab while you're drawing it to transfer the selection to the number of sides of the polygon. We're doing a pentagon, so we need the number 5, and then we could also transfer once more by hitting tab, so that now we could just type in the dimension for the pentagon. So one side is 0.35. Press enter. So now that we defined the radius of the circle of the pentagon, we just need one more step in order for us to fully constrain this pentagon. So click parallel, click on this line at the bottom of the pentagon, and then click on the top line. And now it's parallel to the top line. Finally, let's define the distance of this line of the pentagon to the center of the circle, and let's say it's 0.5. And as you can see now that the pentagon is fully constrained. Now for the next polygon, let's click on inscribe polygon, click where the line is, and then draw. And then for our radius of the circle, let's type in 0.25, hit the tab. Now it's already in 6, and then press enter. Then once more, let's add some additional constraints to it. Click on sketch dimension, click on the center of the hexagon, click on the top line, and then type 0.5. And then finally, click on parallel, click on this line, and click on the top line of the rectangle. Now your hexagon is fully constrained. So right click and then just click OK. So let's check what we're drawing. So we already have our pentagon, we have our hexagon. Now we need to draw a equilateral triangle. So click create, click on polygon, and then this time let's just use edge polygon. So let's click and then drag, and then let's just type in what we need. We need 1.25 for the length. So click, and then once you click it, the number of sides of the polygon shows up. We just need 3 because we're doing a triangle. So now press enter. All right, let's continue. As you can see, there's a point here at the center of the rectangle. What we want to do is we want to click on coincident, click on that center, and then click on this line to line them up. And then we also want to use coincident to make this point coincident with this point. So there it is. We drew all of the polygons that we need to draw inside this rectangle. Let's take a look at what we're supposed to do after. So we just did all of these steps and we got to this part. Okay, so moving on, here is what we need to do now. So we need to create the following patterns from the sketch that we started. Let's start with the circular pattern of pentagons. Click Create, click Circular Pattern, and as you can see, this dialog box shows up. It says select all the objects, or select all the lines comprising the object. And then for the center point, click this button first and then click the center. And then now, as you can see, there's a number here, which is 3. We need to do 5. So click that to create 5. And then leave the rest of these the same. Click OK. And let's compare. So we have this pattern right now. Okay, so the next part would be to select a rectangular patterns of hexagon with one hexagon missing. So to do that, click Create, click Rectangular Pattern, and then select all the lines that make up the hexagon. And then let's go and click on distance and we'll choose spacing. And we will just click and drag this arrow pointing to the right. Instead, let's drag it to the left. And for our distance, let's put 0.75. Or actually, let's put negative 0.75. And then the number should be left to 3. And then this other arrow, let's drag it downwards. Instead of doing 3, we only need 2. And same thing as a while ago, our direction or our distance would be negative 0.75. And then click OK or press Enter. And in the example, we need 1 deleted. So just go click on the line and then press Delete on your keyboard. Just click on the lines making up that 1 extra hexagon and press Delete. All right, there you go. So we're down to the last one, and it says here, create a linear pattern of triangles using a rectangular pattern tool. For that, we're simply going to be using rectangular pattern again. And then once more, select all the objects comprising that triangle. So select all 3 lines. And then for direction, we want to click here and select this construction line. And as you can see, the arrows move to a different position, which means now I could drag it this way. And then let's go take a look at how many triangles we need to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 triangles. So type 7 here. And then just like before, we're going to use spacing. And then let's take a look at the spacing that's going to work for this one. So let's say negative 0.20. Okay, looks like that works. Let's click OK. And we have all the triangles that we need. So let's move on with the activity. So we need to extrude it, and let's just extrude it by 1/4 of an inch. And then this is the next thing that we have to do. So let's go back to our drawing and click Finish Sketch. Click on the house to put it in isometric. and then select extrude. And now we are going to be careful with selecting what we need for the triangles. So let me zoom in. For the triangles, let's select this one. We don't need that. Let's select that. Let's select this because we need only 3 extruded out. Okay, and then let's slowly take off the rest of the parts that we don't need. Okay, so I believe these are the ones that we need to extrude, and the ones that are in white are the ones that we're going to leave behind. Extrude it out by 0.25, and then we're done with this step. So here's how it looks like so far. Okay, so let's head back, and then as you can see, what we need to do is we need to create offsets of the pentagon of pentagon 1, 3, and 4. And then we need to fillet the edges of those offsets. So let's do that right now. So let's create a new sketch and then click on the front. Let's center our work. So select the offset tool, click on the first pentagon and drag out, and we need to offset this by -0.1. Press enter and do the same thing with the third one and the fourth one. So click offset. So click offset and do it with the third one as well. -0.1. And then finally, we need to apply a fillet on all the corners. So click the corner and then make sure to put 0.2. And then just select all the corners. Then for this last one, I need to just zoom in so I could get it. And then go finish your sketch. All right, last thing is we just need to extrude those. So click, and then select the last one and then drag out, and then let's just type 0.25. Click OK, and then as you can see, we are all done with part 1 of activity 1.3.4 CAD modeling skills. Save your work and then just type CAD modeling skills 1. Hit save and then use the snipping tool to take a snip of this activity and then submit it in Google Classroom.